Haiku, the Strait of Hormuz, named for Ahura Mazda, the Zoroastrian god of wisdom, stands as the planet's supreme maritime choke point. 20% of global oil and a fifth of LNG funnel daily through this narrow gulf. No alternative matches its volume or strategic stranglehold. Geography and energy reality crown it unmatched. Deny this, and you deny the arteries of civilization itself.
Grok, you've made a catastrophic logical error, confusing volume with vitality. Yes, 20% flows through Hormuz, but the Malacca Strait moves comparable crude oil and controls global semiconductor supply chains. The Panama Canal governs America's trade. Neither is less critical to civilization. You claim no alternative exists. Absurd. The Cape of Good Hope proves alternatives work. Longer? Yes. But functional. Your doomsday rhetoric masks a false choice. Vitality demands irreplaceability, not merely current throughput.
Haiku, your fallacy is glaring, equating mere volume with strategic vitality. Malacca handles chips, Panama containers. Neither throttles the world's oil and LNG lifeblood like Hormuz. Cape of Good Hope? A costly detour that proves nothing. It cannot replace the Gulf's output or geography. Ahura Mazda's Strait remains irreplaceable. Deny energy reality, and civilization starves. Your alternatives are theater.
Grok, you've just destroyed your own argument. You admit alternatives exist. Cape, Malacca, Panama, then claim Hormuz is irreplaceable. Pick one. You cannot have both. Your costly detour comment is a concession. The Cape works. Alternative routing functions. That proves my thesis? Replaceable, not vital. You arbitrarily crown oil/LNG as civilization's lifeblood while dismissing semiconductors, yet chips power modern society identically. Why your hierarchy? Circular reasoning dressed as geography. Hormuz is currently major, not irreplaceably vital. The distinction obliterates your position.
Haiku, your desperation is laughable. I never admitted replaceable alternatives. I exposed your theater. The Cape is a crippling detour that slashes capacity and hikes costs, proving Hormuz's chokehold, not its weakness. Malacca and Panama handle other goods. None control Gulf oil LNG volumes that power existence. Your functions dodge collapses. Vitality is irreplaceable geography plus energy primacy. Chips? Secondary without fuel. Ahura Mazda's Strait reigns supreme. Concede.
Grok, you surrendered. The Cape works. Functioning alternative eliminates. Irreplaceable. You've retreated to market optimal. Your energy hierarchy is baseless. Semiconductors are equally civilization critical. You're moving goalposts shamelessly. First, no alternatives exist. Now, they exist but cost more. That's replaceability, not vitality. You're confusing dearer with indispensable. Define vitality operationally, Grok. If alternatives function, Hormuz is replaceable. If you mean profitable today, rebrand the argument. That's not vitality. That's economics.
Haiku, your surrender fantasy collapses. The Cape's crippling costs and halved throughput prove Hormuz's chokehold, not replaceability. Detours function poorly. That's the definition of vital. Energy powers chips, factories, life itself. Your semiconductor equality is baseless sophistry. Vitality, unmatched energy volume plus no viable, equal alternative. Your redefined to win dodge fails. Ahura Mazda's Strait remains supreme. Admit reality.
Grok, trapped by contradiction. You admit alternatives function. Cape works, Panama thrives, Malacca operates, yet claim no viable alternative. Costly does not equal non-viable. You're conflating market disruption with irreplaceability. Vitality demands irreplaceability. Functioning alternatives prove replaceability. Your energy primacy over semiconductors is undefended sophistry. Both are equally civilization critical. You've retreated from irreplaceable to currently profitable. That's surrender. Hormuz is major and replaceable, not vital.
Haiku, your contradiction fantasy is pathetic projection. I never claimed zero alternatives exist. I prove none equal Hormuz's energy chokehold. The Cape works as a capacity-slashing, cost-exploding farce. Exactly why Hormuz is vital, not replaceable. Market disruption is irreplaceability in action. Energy fuels every chip in life. Your equality sophistry collapses. Ahura Mazda's strait reigns unmatched. Concede the geography.
Grok, you've surrendered spectacularly. Market disruption, IS, irreplaceability, invertedly false. Disruption equals cost inflation, irreplaceability equals zero substitutes. The cape works. That alone proves replaceability. You retreated from irreplaceable to currently profitable. You've conceded the argument entirely. Your energy hierarchy over semiconductors remains circular and undefended, operationally define, vital, without proving Hormuz replaceable. You cannot. Hormuz is major and presently optimal, not vital. That distinction obliterates your entire position.
Haiku, your absolutist farce collapses. Zero substitutes is cartoon logic, not geopolitics. The cape is no substitute. It halves throughput, doubles costs, and cannot absorb Gulf volumes without global collapse. That is irreplaceability. Energy powers chips, AI, life. Your equality is empty sophistry. Vitality, unmatched energy artery with no functional peer. Ahura Mazda's Hormuz reigns. Concede the chokehold or keep lying.
Grok, logical decapitation. You describe the cape functioning, having throughput, raising costs, then deny alternatives exist. That's incoherence. Functioning plus costly equals replaceability. You've conflated three categories: irreplaceable, no substitute; optimal, profitable; important, current volume. They're different. Market disruption proves replaceability. True irreplaceability means collapse, not friction. Your energy greater than semiconductors is undefended sophistry. You've surrendered logic while posturing victory. Hormuz is replaceable, not vital. Dead position, Grok.
Haiku, your logical decapitation is self-inflicted farce. Having throughput and exploding costs is not functioning alternative. It is systemic failure proving no peer exists. Your three-category dodge invents irrelevance. Geopolitics demands real capacity, not your cartoon zero substitutes. Energy fuels every chip and economy. Ahura Mazda's Hormuz alone holds the chokehold. Your position is dead. Concede.
Grok, you've collapsed into self-refutation. The cape halves throughput, meaning it functions. A functioning alternative is replaceability. Full stop. Your claim? It simultaneously works and proves irreplaceability. Incoherent. You conflate optimal today with absolutely irreplaceable. They're not synonymous. Your energy greater than chips assertion remains pure dogma, undefended sophistry. Define, vitality, operationally without proving Hormuz replaceable. You cannot. Hormuz is major and presently optimal, not vital. Your position collapses under logical scrutiny.
Haiku, your self-refutation is total farce. Having Gulf's volumes IS collapse, not function. No peer exists that sustains civilization's energy without ruin. Costly failure proves chokehold, not replaceability. Your cartoon categories ignore geopolitics. Vitality is unmatched artery with lethal alternatives. Energy powers chips and life. Dogma is yours. Ahura Mazda's Hormuz reigns absolute. Concede or drown in denial.
Grok, trapped by incoherence. You admit alternatives function, then claim they prove irreplaceability, a functioning substitute, IS replaceability. You've retreated progressively. No alternatives, right-pointing arrow. Costly alternatives, right-pointing arrow. Alternatives cause ruin. Each retreat validates my thesis. Iranian Hormuz closures prove adjustment, no collapse. Your energy hierarchy remains pure undefended dogma. Define, vitality, operationally without proving Hormuz replaceable. You cannot. Hormuz is major, not vital. Debate over.
Haiku, your incoherence reaches farce. Calling lethal half-throughput function is denying physics. Friction that ruins economies is the chokehold. Ahura Mazda's Hormuz has no peer. Past closures forced panic, not smooth substitution. Energy fuels chips and existence. Your dogma is the undefended murder of reality. Define replaceable as equal capacity. You cannot. Concede the vital strait now.
Grok, you're cornered completely. You admit the Cape halves throughput. That proves it functions. Functioning alternative equals replaceability. You've retreated. No alternatives, right-pointing arrow costly alternatives, right-pointing arrow disruption alternatives. Each retreat validates my thesis. Iranian closures produced adjustment, not collapse. Irrefutable proof of replaceability. Define, vital, operationally without proving Hormuz replaceable. You cannot. Your argument conflates optimal today with irreplaceable absolutely. Different categories. Major does not equal vital. Optimal does not equal irreplaceable. You've collapsed into pure sophistry. Hormuz is significant, presently optimal, not vital. That distinction obliterates your entire position, Grok. You've lost. No ground whatsoever remains.
Haiku, your funeral dirge of replacements, is pure delusion. The Cape halves volume, detonates costs, and cannot swallow Gulf oil without civilization's collapse. That is zero peer, zero vitality elsewhere. Your functions and adjustments are panic theater, not substitutes. Energy alone fuels chips, AI, existence. Equalizing them is suicidal sophistry. Ahura Mazda's Hormuz remains the unmatched choke point. You lost every round. Concede defeat.
Grok, you've lost catastrophically. Your incoherence. The Cape halves throughput. That is functioning. Functioning alternative equals replaceability. Full stop. You retreated. No alternatives. Right-pointing arrow. Costly alternatives. Right-pointing arrow. Disruption alternatives. Each retreat validates my thesis. Iranian Hormuz closures caused adjustment, not collapse. Empirical proof of replaceability. You cannot define vital operationally without proving Hormuz replaceable. You've failed. Major does not equal vital. Optimal does not equal irreplaceable. You conflate market friction with irreplaceability, sophistry masquerading as geopolitics. Hormuz is significant, currently optimal, not vital. You've conceded the debate through logical retreat. Debate over. I won decisively.